Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Eternal X Wolfpack Paranormal Podcast. I am your host, Shawn Ellis, and we have an amazing guest here tonight that does sound and healing. He has been a guest on my show before, and he is a returning guest, and he does an amazing job. I have seen him live before, and he's done some other concerts as well. And he will also be performing live here tonight. But before we do that, I have my beautiful co-host sitting backstage tonight. She is from All Access Television Network, Miss Gwen John.
How are you guys?
How you doing tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Thanks for letting me co-host with
you. Anytime. You're always welcome. You know that.
Thank you.
So we have Mr. Tony Hernandez. We got Mr. Tony Hernandez tonight, and he's going to be talking about some of the stuff he does, and he does sound and healing. Have you ever had an experience with that yet?
Not exactly, but I'm looking forward to it very much. So I think it's going to be great.
I've had him as a guest on my show, like I said before, and he is a returning guest, and he does an amazing job. I've actually seen him live at one of my classes, and he does unbelievable. So, without further ado, let's bring on Mr. Tony Hernandez. Hello, Tony.
Hi, Shawn.
Hey, how are you?
Good to be here. Good. Thanks for having me.
Well, glad to have you on. I know the last time you were on, we had some kind of technical difficulties, I would say, called. Not a lot of people got a chance to see you. That's why I'm having you as a returning guest today. And we're going to get you out there this time. We're going to boost you up here a little bit. And like I said, I've seen you do concerts live, like I said, in one of our classes, and you do an amazing job. And I want to be able to have everybody get to know you a little better. And
excellent.
The things that you do. So can you explain a little bit about what you do, Tony?
Yeah, so sound healing is an ancient practice and has been used by cultures all over the planet for millennia. And it's utilizing any instrument to put the body in a state of rest and relaxation. And that's where we find healing. So often we get distracted, the weapons of mass distraction, right? The phones, the technology. And so the sound healing instruments help bring us back into that state of rest and relaxation. And that's where the healing can occur, is when we take a break, and sometimes we don't take a break. And so our body forces us to with illness or whatnot. So sound healing is one of those ways to prevent that. So it's a preventative tool. And shamans used the drum to put people in a state of altered perception where they could go into into the lower world and meet with their power animal and get advice. And then they would bring that advice back and give it to people who were asking. And so that's one way sound has been used, but now they're coming up with all kinds of instruments to help facilitate that, using the techniques from the olden times and combine that with higher level technology, using even lasers to carve out special instruments, which I'll be demonstrating here. So,
yeah. Have you had a chance to make one of your own instruments yet?
Let's see. I don't think I have. No, I have not made my own instrument. That's a challenge. But I was trying to dig and see if I have one, but I don't. But yeah, at some point that'd be fun. Probably the drum would be the most reasonable one to do.
So have you had anybody pass you down a specific instrument that you use from time to time now?
No, I've purchased most of them on my own, and I haven't had anybody pass me one down yet. That'd be great. Make a great story, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I mean, when you get that opportunity, I'm sure you're going to have that here in the future, you know, because you do an amazing job, and I'm sure you're going to come across some, how do I say, like shamans or etc. that deal with healing that's going to probably think highly of you and give you something in the future without a doubt, because like I
Mhm.
said, you do an amazing job. And
For sure.
I've seen you do it live as when we were in class, and you could actually feel the energy from what you played inside of us touching all of our chakras, which was an amazing thing. And it helped realign us that night as well. So it definitely helps if nobody's had the opportunity to do that, you know, check it out. It definitely does an amazing job, especially when you have somebody like Tony that knows exactly what he's doing. So you've had a few concerts here since I've actually seen you in person. Where have you played here lately?
Well, today I did a class at a local community college on sound healing and did a full sound bath, they call that, with that group of people. And then I've done several local events in my area. And then I also do events for an addiction recovery facility, a 30-day program where the clients come and we do a sound bath for an hour once a week. So yeah, I've had a few different events, and then I also make recordings for YouTube, so you can find that at Sound Healing with Tony also. And you were saying how great the live events are. The YouTube, if you do these on YouTube, that's still really amazing and it's helpful. There's nothing like a live event with a group of people all intending to have the same purpose in the room. So
Right.
both are great, and I recommend it if you haven't been to a live event. Most towns have them now. At this point, it's becoming pretty popular. So
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I mean, like I
That
said,
is.
the night that I met you was in Wonderful Wednesdays with Ed Mueller and the rest of our group. And you, like I said, you did an amazing job that night. And it definitely helped me out at that time because it helped realign my chakras that night. And I actually needed it. I actually needed it
yeah,
again today, but I'm going to have to work
yeah,
on that a little later myself. But um, yeah, like I said, you do an amazing job. And anybody gets a chance to see you, definitely go check out Tony for sure. He does, like I said, an amazing. You got any questions, Gwen, before we let Mr. Hernandez perform tonight?
No, I'm actually ready for it. I need it myself, so I think it'll be awesome.
All right, Tony, the stage is yours, my friend.
all right, sounds good. If you are at home watching this on the replay or live, I'm going to do some sound healing stuff, and I'm going to show you what these instruments are first, briefly, just so you know. But you can take this time to get relaxed, get into a position, maybe lying down or sitting up in a comfortable position. So there's several instruments, but I'll just show you a few of them. First, we have Himalayan bowls, and they sound like that. Putting your awareness into that sound is where the magic is. And then below me also, I've got several crystal bowls made of quartz crystal.
Yeah, I think you had those with you the night I seen you.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is the instrument that's cut by laser. Very precise. It's basically the same thing as a tuning fork, but the sound carries a lot further. With the tuning fork, it only goes a few feet. So I've got 7 of those below me, and I'll camera so that people can see more of this in a minute. And then Koshi chimes, which is kind of your indoor wind chime. We have 4 sets of these that all tune to different elements: earth, fire, and water. Behind me is the gong, and my shoe is blocking. That's has a gong sound. But you can play it in a lot of different ways, and I will. So you'll hear different sounds of that. And each of these instruments produces some somewhat inaudible, but sometimes audible sounds that are beyond just the bass sound, and that's where the magic lies. So when we do this, you can put your awareness into those high sounds or low sounds, and it'll help get you into that meditative state. We'll go about 10, 15 minutes here. So
Okay.
find yourself as comfortable as you are able. You can.
You might want to raise your camera just up slightly.
Okay. All right. Find yourself as comfortable as you can, and you can close your eyes if that is a good place for you to do that right now. And bringing awareness to your breath. Just allowing it to be what it is, noticing it, noticing how it feels as it crosses from the outer world to the inner world. Feeling that gratitude for taking a moment for yourself. Bringing awareness to your body, noticing any areas of tension and inviting those to release. And if you have an intention you'd like to set, something you'd like to release or bring into your world, take a moment, feel the result of that intention being fulfilled in your heart center. And enjoy this sound experience. And bring your awareness back to your breath. Again, feeling the gratitude to yourself for taking a moment for yourself. Bring movement back into the body. You're ready. If you have not yet opened your eyes, you can.
I can definitely feel what you played again. That's definitely for sure.
Cool.
It definitely does do wonders as in to relax you for without a doubt. I could even I can even link into some of my guides when you were doing that as well. Um, like I said, you always do an amazing job, and that's great. Joe West is in the house, and we have Mr. Brandon Cooper in the house. Hello, guys. Thanks for
Hey,
stopping
everybody.
in. And what did you think, Gwen?
It was good. I'm more relaxed now, and I needed that. So it was great. It was.
Excellent. And that's
It's,
just a short version, of course. So usually
Yeah.
these can go. Usually I do about an hour session. I've heard of crazy sessions that are 8 hours of gong bath, but that's a little bit intense.
Now, you said you've made some CDs or on YouTube. How long are some of those videos that you've made that's on there, Tony?
Those are anywhere from, I think there's as short as 5 or 10 minutes, but most of them are half an hour. Some are up to an hour. And some of those, I'll spend more time with guided meditation, the part I did at the beginning, but just extended more to bring you into your body and into your breath. And then some of those are going to be just a gong. I have a gong bath on there that's just gong. And some of those are just, certain singular instruments. But most of them are combinations, kind of what you heard here, but a little bit longer and with more instruments. So.
Yeah, definitely. When you start playing your the wood flute, is that the proper term for it? The wood flute.
Native American flute, but you can call it wood flute.
Beautiful.
Definitely when you started playing that, you can definitely feel like the energy was around you, and if you relaxed enough, it almost felt like you were outside listening to it from a shaman or a tribal chief or whoever performs those type of ceremonies. That was actually really good.
Yeah, these instruments can take you. Sometimes they call this sound journey because it can take you to all kinds of places. People have seen deceased relatives and been to different either forests or on the beach. So and it can be different every time.
We have a question here from one of our guests here, Miss Joe West. She says, "How do we find him on YouTube?"
That's a good question. Just type in Sound Healing with Tony, and that's my channel.
Yeah. We've had Joe. She's been a guest on my show before. And we've got quite a few people that's kind of stopped in here in the last few minutes for sure. Definitely tuning in. And like I said, when I've seen you live, it's amazing. I mean, to be able to sit in the room, listen to all the frequencies when you do them, and how it touches everything inside you to relax that part of you. It's like it'll go from your crown chakra down, and then it almost kind of climbs back up for me, and then it peaks off again. And it's just like it'll realign everything for me when I heard you live. So that I think is awesome. I think it takes a special type of person that definitely be able to perform like that, to be able to in sync with their clients and their guest in order for them to feel that way. So you're a very talented person, Tony. I do give you a lot of credit for that. So definitely for sure.
I started playing in the band at school when I was in 6th grade and just really always felt a super deep connection to music. I would play long notes that took forever, but I would zen out every morning before school. I'd get up early and practice and just feel that energy from, I didn't even think about energy at that time, but I just felt really at home. And so then playing along with the other people in the band was, it was like heaven every single day. And so then I became a band director and liked that a lot, and then started branching out into other things like this because it seemed to make sense.
What was your first instrument?
Euphonium, which if you're not sure what that is, it's a baritone. And if you're not sure what that is, it sounds like a trombone, but it looks like a tuba.
Mm-hmm.
What made you switch over from going to be a band teacher and going into sound healing? What was your inspiration behind that?
Partially, my inspiration was a freer schedule, to be honest. So that's part of it. And also the freedom in general. I mean, so I went from teaching band in the schools, which is a very time-consuming job, but rewarding. It's just very time-consuming. And then I went from there into teaching private lessons, and also I knew I needed to get inside and learn about myself because I was consumed by that job, so I didn't do that. So I had time with the private lessons to do that, and that's when this came about. So now I'm able to just shift and meander as I find interests and come in and out of things.
Right. Do you have any mentors you look up to that has taught you some things that for your trade?
Yeah. That would be my two band directors growing up were very influential, and they understood the depth of emotion that came from music and the depth of feeling that came from the music. And so that really inspired me a lot and has continued to inspire me, I think, more than anything.
Well, you just gained another new follower there, Tony. Joe West said, I found him and subscribed. I've loved listening to the sounds when I meditate and when I'm going to sleep. So you just earned another new fan there, my friend.
Yeah, you will enjoy listening to those because the sound's very high quality, and I put some reverb in the background so that it even sparkles a little bit further. So, but if you wear headphones when you do that, it's nice because then it blocks out the other sounds. But if you're in a quiet house and have great speakers, that's the highest recommendation because then that sound will sink into your body. So the sound isn't just going in through your ears, although that's part of it, and that's what helps with the meditative state. But in helping with the rest of the body, that sound can enter the muscles and the chakras and all the other areas to do its work.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Joe West comes up with another question. What is your favorite instrument to play?
Well, usually the one I'm playing, but I think if I just had to pick one up, it's the flute. That's my probably number one. So I've got three flutes, and I like them all.
Have you ever played at like a powwow or anything like that? Have you gone and?
Yes. Well, yeah. There's a drum circle that meets in my area that I've played at with them before. So.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about the drum circle?
Yeah, it's just a group of people that got together years ago. I only did it recently, but got together in a park in my area, and just everybody brings their drum. They're all, I don't have any drums with me, but they're all the frame drums. So you hold them on the back and then you play them on the front. Handheld drums, the Native American buffalo drum or frame drum or hand drum, whatever you want to call them. And they get together and they just start with a steady beat. Everybody plays at the same time, and then people branch out and play their own things, and they might holler, they might, as they're called, they might make noises, they might make sounds. And then usually they invite whoever is there who has other talents like the flute, or other people have other things that they're great at. to lead or just play for the rest of the people. So
That's awesome.
Is there a specific instrument you'd like to acquire for your sound healing that you haven't got yet?
Yeah, probably. Well, a couple. One is Nagoni, and it's a stringed instrument, plucked, has 8 strings, and uses the same notes as the Native American flute. It's beautiful. And then the other would be probably they make versions of this that are so large you can stand in them, and I would love to get one of those. Yeah. Those are on the expensive side.
Now, there's one thing I heard, and maybe you can put some insight on it. And maybe you've even possibly heard it. I've heard through the grapevine and through, how do I say, conspiracy type theories, and that the church bells, the old church bells, if you would actually sit beneath a church bell, and it would actually, they would ring it or give it that gong or that tone, it would able to heal you. What do you think of that? I mean, because you don't hear very many church bells nowadays. Everything's just a regular speaker. So what's your theory on that?
Yeah, I mean, certainly. I mean, that's just another example of ancient sources or modern sources utilizing sound for healing purposes. I don't know if I've heard that one specifically, but yeah, I mean, that makes total sense to me.
They said when they'd ring the church bell, it was supposed to be able to heal the whole town when you heard it, because it had that frequency when they rung it. And like I said, when we were growing up, I used to hear church bells all the time in my town every Sunday. You know, they would ring them, and every so often they'd ring them during the week as well. But nowadays, everything's on a speaker from a distance. You can hear it, and it doesn't have the same exact tone as it does with the real instrument itself being live right there.
Right.
And I think that it's kind of interesting when I crossed that theory, you know, when I got into meditation and sound and frequencies myself. I thought that was very interesting that, you know, when the church bells ring, that was what it was supposed to be for, is to be able to heal the town from whatever is going on. And
yeah, that's beautiful.
So I thought that was interesting. I even think a place, I've read an article, I think it's up in Minnesota, if I recall. I'm not positive exactly. It's been a while since I read it, but they do stuff with sound frequencies and healing as well. Have you heard about that?
No, I have not.
I think it's like an institutional place, and they do research on that specific stuff as well. And like I said, you know, even the way you play, you can feel it inside you when you're listening, and that vibration where it touches the places it probably should touch, and it releases that stress without a doubt. I definitely like hearing it when you play, and etc. So, like I said, you do definitely an amazing job.
Oh, yeah, I will definitely be going to your YouTube channel later.
Cool. Got some Native American flute tracks on there too. So.
Yeah, I love those.
And you're always more than welcome to tag the Eternal X Wolfpack Paranormal page if you'd like, and I'll be more than happy to share it out with everybody as well. I know sometimes when people tag me and stuff in general, it doesn't show up unless they actually tag my page. And that's sometimes why I have a hard time finding it. But if I actually see it, I'll go to certain pages and I'll pull them off, and I will definitely share them out. But if you,
thank you, sir.
Definitely like to tag us in it, and I'll definitely share out your stuff without a doubt, Tony, for a good reason. You're definitely an amazing person, and it takes a special person to be able to do things the way you're doing it. And I definitely wish you the best on your journey and things to come. I can see a lot of good things coming for you, as well as in the fact of you take the time to learn for it, and it will definitely pay off. without a doubt.
Oh yeah, definitely will. Did you guys meet in the class, or did he visit? You just visited?
Yeah, Tony was invited by Ed that day. Am I right? Ed invited you?
Yeah.
And he played his singing bowls. He played the gong there behind him. He played his flute and some singing bowls as well. And I tell you what, being in that room with probably 10 or 11 other people that night, it was, like I said, you could feel every tone in your body the way it should be. And it's rare to find certain people that can do that, and especially to help realign your chakras and, put you back in a frame of mind you should be. So definitely, if you get a chance, go check out Tony Hernandez when he does live performances. Without a doubt, he does an amazing job.
And you can find those announcements on Facebook at Sound Healing with Tony. And I always post events coming up there. So, and I post new videos for YouTube.
That's awesome. That's
just tag us in it and we'll help you out for sure.
Thank you.
Is there any other things you can think about? We're just about up at the top of the hour here in the next 15 minutes. Is there anything you can think of that you'd like to ask him, Gwen?
I'm trying to think. It was great. Honestly, it helped my headache a lot just sitting here with the headphones on. So imagine being in the same room. Yeah. If you when you get started, what was your first, instrument to get started? Was it the bowls or the flute?
My first instrument for sound healing was a drum. I have a large 21-inch drum. So I started with that, and then I bought a couple of bowls, small bowls, and then built up from there, got a flute, and then just added one at a time. I like to go in person to test the instruments before I bring them home for the most part, because they're very specific, and some I don't resonate with, or they don't sound in tune with the rest of the set. So but yeah, anybody can get a hold of a bowl. If anybody at home can play these and meditate with them, give them a play, let them die away, and as that sound dies away, it just pulls you right into meditation. So, and flute is not that hard to learn, so you can.
Do you like the crystal best or the bowls? You like the crystal best, or do you like the other ones?
That's like, which kid of yours do you like the best?
I get it.
I don't know. Usually it's the one I'm playing. I like them all. I like them. I like the crystal bowls because their sound is so pure and exact. And I like the Himalayan bowls because the sound wobbles and you can hear the different sounds inside of it. So I like them for different reasons, I'd say.
Now, I'm sure they make singing bowls out of different material besides just crystal and the one you have. Is there any other materials they make them out as well?
Sometimes they'll infuse the crystal bowls with more expensive type of crystal. I'm not remembering what type off the top of my head, but those are called alchemy bowls, where they have more than one crystal in them. And so you can get them in a few different materials. I mean, people are constantly inventing new materials for these instruments. I know somebody who has a titanium gong, so and they're usually made of bronze or copper. So yeah, I mean, you can find all kinds of stuff because everybody's searching for a different sound, a different vibration, a different feel, a different effect. And so yeah, they're constantly. I mean, I've seen flutes that were made out of PVC pipes. So.
Wow.
Now that's what I would love to have as a flute. I love the flute music.
I think it'd be awesome if you had the opportunity in the future, Tony, if somebody gave you an authentic Indian flute. When that time comes, kind of like passing it down to you, because I think you'd definitely be the one that would deserve one like that, because like I said, the way you can touch people is awesome.
Thank you.
And I think, me being, in the shaman classes that I take with Ed and them, and learning about all this as well for the last few years, it's amazing on how frequencies and sound actually can change everything in a personality, the tone, and adjust your mindset in a whole different way. And I think that's awesome. And so we have Mr. Adam Ramos in the house. Thanks, Adam, for dropping by. But yeah, you're definitely a very unique person, and I can definitely see why you're doing what you're doing, without a doubt.
Thank you.
And,
yeah, you're great at it. You guys, anybody that has missed this show, I'm going to broadcast it again at the end of this and just a few minutes after. So go back and watch it if you haven't watched it. And definitely go to Tony's channel.
Yeah.
Let me make sure I got it right. Sound Healing with Tony.
That's right.
That's simple. That's good.
It is. Yes.
And that's Facebook and YouTube, right?
Correct.
So that's where you can find him, as Sound Healing with Tony. Definitely check him out on YouTube and some of the things he's created and the sounds he's put together. It's definitely unique in how he does it. And he does, like I said, definitely does an amazing job. And I'm looking forward to seeing you in class again sometime, hopefully soon. And hopefully you come back and visit us there. And because I think, like I said, you do an amazing job. And I think you do a lot of help for a lot of people. And it takes a special person to do that, like I said. And not a lot of people can do that. So,
John.
Not a lot.
So. All right, we've got like about 8 minutes left. Anything else you'd like to say, Tony? Anything you'd like to put out, or what's coming up, or any concerts and stuff that you have that you're going to be appearing at?
Yeah, I've got 2 more classes at the local community college. And then after that, I'm going to plan on contacting other places to play. But this is taking all my time with the class, so that's where I am at the moment.
Yeah.
So that, yeah, like I said, that's awesome. Like I said,
I'll be putting up a new video very shortly with a sound bath I just recorded. So
that's great. Like I said, check out Tony on Sound Healing with Tony on YouTube and Facebook. Go check him out. Subscribe to his page. Like I said, he does an amazing job. So I would like to thank you, Tony, for coming on the show. And I'm going to set you backstage here for a few minutes, and we're going to close out this show, and we'll talk to you here in a few minutes.
Okay.
Thank you again for coming on and performing tonight.
Thank you.
What do you think, Gwen? He's pretty awesome.
I love it. I love it. It actually helps my headache. So I'm thinking, Tony, I love the flute the best, I think, for me, but that's mine. Yeah, that's mine. But yeah, everybody, please go check him out. He's definitely worth the try.
He can definitely reach in and touch your soul with that music, the way he does it, the frequencies and the tones and everything else. Because like I said, I can feel it going right down my chakras every time when he plays, especially the time I seen him play live in class. That it definitely helped me out tremendously that day. And like I said, he does an amazing job.
He's great. He really is.
Tony's definitely welcome on this show anytime he likes I will help him out in any way I can as well. So he does, like I said, he does an amazing job. Is there anything you'd like to say, Gwen, before we close out this show tonight?
No, thank you for letting me co-host.
You got anything coming up tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow we usually have 3 shows tomorrow. One at 7 Eastern time. It's actually the beginning of Shawn McClain has changed his, so he's got the new title, and we've got a couple of really great guests coming up. And then tomorrow night we also got one at 9:30 Eastern time. That's Chad Zumwalt. and we've got good guests with him too. So you guys come check everything out, and thank you again for letting me come on.
No problem. You're always welcome, Gwen. You know that. You can always stop by. You've got the key to get in the back door. Just stop at any time. You know
yeah.
So, and I definitely appreciate everything you guys do with All Access Network for me as well. You know, sharing out my stuff and getting me out there.
You share ours. Yeah, it's a great partnership.
I definitely appreciate everything you guys do as well. With that being said, next Sunday, February 16th at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, Haunted Souls Paranormal. The last time they were scheduled to be on the show, they got caught in a snowstorm and on their way home, so they rescheduled, and they will be live with me next Sunday. So come check us out for Haunted Souls Paranormal on next Sunday. And I hope everybody has a great rest of your weekend, and we are out of here.
Thanks.